Hey guys, it is Sunday morning. It's September 3rd. I'm 9 DPO. We're heading to the store right now to pick up some breakfast bits and bobs and something carbonated for my husband. His stomach is a little sour this morning. Before I get into anything in this video, I'm going to quickly show you guys the footage of the pregnancy test I took yesterday. I did take a test at 8 DPO. I said I wasn't going to, but I did it anyway. And here's what I got. Okay, so I will stop procrastinating. And I will look at this test. This is a dead negative test. Okay, so now we know, but we will go into tomorrow with a lot of hope. And we'll see if maybe something gets picked up tomorrow. Who knows? We'll see. So just to summarize all of that, I've never gotten a more dead negative test in all of my life. Like, I'm telling you guys, I have been analyzing that test even up to 10 p.m. last night. I haven't even seen the hint of a suggestion that there could even be an evap on that test. It is so blank. I might as well have just dipped it in water. It's crazy. So I can't say I'm feeling hopeful at all, realistically speaking, to see anything on a test. But here is my BBT chart, and you guys, this thing is going to give me a heart attack because it just looks so promising. And real quick, I'm going to cut, let me show you this chart. The purple line is my current chart. The green line is the chart line I got when I was pregnant with Benny 2 years ago in August 2021. And the two charts, oh my God, they are just tracking each other so eerily similarly this cycle. And I know that prior to implantation, none of it matters, but it's just so crazy to me how much my charts are tracking one another, even up to today. So back to today's chart, dark blue line are my vaginal temps, orange line is my Apple Watch temps, and the periwinkle line is my resting heart rate. My Apple Watch, you know, it's doing whatever the it wants to this cycle as usual, right? But there was a crazy crash on 6 DPO and then it went sky high on 7 DPO. And that's why I tested on 8 DPO, because my temp sustained on 8 DPO. And I thought, okay, maybe I could have had an implantation dip that my Apple Watch picked up, but my vaginal temps didn't. I don't know. Like, my Apple Watch seems to know when my period is going to come 2 days sooner than my vaginal temps show it. So I don't know. But no, I had a completely dead negative pregnancy test on 8 DPO. And I just think that 6 DPO for an implantation dip is just so early. But anyway, so I'm looking at all this stuff. Everything is so high. I don't think my Apple Watch temps have ever gone as high as they did this morning. They were 37.13. And 2 days in a row now, my Apple Watch temps have been tracking my vaginal temps. 2 days in a row, they're almost exactly the same. So I'm like over here having a coronary because I want this to mean something so badly. But I also have to remain practical, because this cycle is the first cycle that I have consistently been taking maca root powder in many cycles. So it could just be that my hormones are just doing really good because my endocrine system is being very well taken care of by the maca root powder. I'm also having a substantial amount, at least in my opinion, a substantial amount of symptoms, but they also all would be just, I would consider normal PMS symptoms. Not normal for me because I don't necessarily get them all the time. But again,
They'd probably all just be related to progesterone at this point, and maybe it's the maca root powder that is causing them, but I'll just list them off here for the sake of capturing them in this video. But so far, I have been getting the persistent and consistent belching, this time since 7 DPO. In past cycles, it started 6 DPO or even 5 DPO. This time it didn't start until 7 DPO, but it is here. I'm having very vivid dreams and night sweats, particularly last night, and last night, 8 DPO going into 9 DPO. I did dream of pregnancy tests, which to me is a meaningful thing. Now, I didn't dream that I had a positive pregnancy test, but in my dream, I dreamt that my sister was visiting me, or, I'm not going to get into the details of it. This video will get too long. But anyway, we were together and she said she had something to tell me, and she showed me that she had a positive pregnancy test on an easy at home test strip. And I felt like a sting of jealousy. I'm like, you just had a baby a month ago. Anyway, so it wasn't my pregnancy test, but I did see 2 lines on an easy at home test. I'm grasping for straws, guys. Another thing that I'm having, similar to last cycle, which is very odd for me, is I'm having a lot of body odor. It started, I think, yesterday or maybe 7 DPO. One of the two. To the point that I'm having to wear deodorant. I don't normally have to wear deodorant. I don't have body odor, so this is odd. And last cycle when this happened, which was the first time it had happened for me, I thought it was because I was drinking an enormous amount of coffee, and coffee makes me sweat. And so I thought, okay, maybe that could justify it. But this cycle, I completely gave up caffeine, or at least I gave up coffee. I'm still drinking like a cup of black tea each day, but I'm drinking a ton of water and no coffee. So I'm not doing anything physical. I woke up at 8:20 this morning and I'm like, holy God, I smell like a trucker, A couple days ago, I was running from our greenhouse back up to the house, and I realized my boobs felt so heavy and full, and I'm not used to experiencing any kind of breast changes or tenderness or pain or anything like that in the 2-week wait, whether I'm pregnant or not. So that felt a little bit odd, or not odd, but different for me. Another huge thing, this is huge for me, is that I have been getting massive quantities of what I would consider pregnancy CM. Now, I have complained about the lack of this in all my previous cycles. I have been saying that I'm either dry or I'm getting like watery, just clear, watery type of CM. And I've been complaining that this is not pregnancy CM, I must not be pregnant, and then I ended up pregnant. So what does CM actually really say? I guess nothing. But this time I'm getting like massive quantities of this sunscreen type leukorrhea CM. Sometimes it's like more on the thinner liquidy side. Sometimes it's on like the thicker, sunscreen side. I remember getting this type of CM in my first pregnancy with my daughter and in my pregnancy with my first son. I don't remember what it was like with my second son. But I have that going, and that is, although not odd, either for pregnancy or just for luteal phase, it is odd for me comparing it to my previous cycles. So take that for what it's worth. I've been irritable. I've been fatigued. And I've been getting spells of lightheadedness. I have orthostatic hypotension. That is not something uncommon for me, but I've been managing it pretty well for the past 2 years. Basically, ever since I got pregnant with Benny, my hypotension has been pretty well managed. And I'm drinking a ton of water. I'm eating a lot of salty foods. I'm not doing anything that would put me at risk of having lower blood pressure. But every time I go from a seated, like from the floor, seated position to standing, I have to bend over and wait for my vision to come back, because everything goes black and I start seeing stars. So those are the symptoms I'm having this time. Just let it be written. I'm not putting so much stock in my symptoms, especially because I'm so early. But my chart, this thing is going to give me a heart attack, you guys. It just is it's looking promising. It's leading me on. I'm starting to get hope. So let's go home now. I've already collected my first morning urine sample. I'm going to make breakfast for my husband and the kids. And then once everyone's fed and happy and doing their own thing, I'm going to take a quiet moment to test. So here we go.
I don't want to look at this test. Because if it's dead negative, I'm going to be so bummed, you guys. I'm not even going to lie. But we've already done our chit-chatting. The test is already processed. It's right in here. So it's just a matter of taking it out of the wrapping and looking at it. And I'm going to do that in a second. I just need to collect myself. The thing that's on my mind right now is that, I've been comparing this current chart with Benny's chart a lot this cycle just because of the striking similarities, and it was on this day, 9 DPO, that I tested positive. And in fact, just like with Benny's cycle, I ovulated in the evening. And so I remember saying in my live pregnancy test, there's no way this is going to be positive because while technically I'm 9 DPO, I'm really only 8.5 DPO. I won't be 9 full days past ovulation until this evening. And so I was using that to hype myself up, to be prepared for a negative. Because, it's likely going to be negative. But then I was shocked to see that it was positive. So now I'm just in a very similar scenario with a similar chart. Similar symptoms, I guess maybe you could say. I'm just going to be so bummed if it's negative. And I feel like all of these tests that I film are just me being bummed. Bummed because it's negative, bummed because it's super faint lines, bummed because the lines aren't getting darker. I am just a giant drag. Okay, let's just do this now. I'm going to set you guys down like that. I don't know. Okay. Okay, here we go. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god, it's positive. Oh my god. Faint lines, faint lines, faint lines, faint lines. So many faint lines late in my cycle. Never being able to feel hopeful or happy because I knew I was going to miscarry them. I mean, this is a super faint line, but I'm only 9 DPO. It's normal to get a faint line now. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't know what to say right now. What? You're welcome, baby. I feel hope for the first time in a very, very long time. Let me turn the camera around. But again, I'm only 9 DPO, it should be faint. Tell me if you guys can see it. I'll also take pictures, but the package tip is pointing to where the line is. Do you guys see that? I'm gonna dip some other tests. Whoops, sorry. I can see it clearly. Tell me if you guys can see it. I don't know if the quality will get butchered. I'm gonna take some pictures real quick. I am not even present in this world right now. I don't know where my mind is, but I have an OPK, one of those cheap one-step tests, and then this is a 25 MIU per milliliter graviditetskollen strip. I don't expect this to show anything given how faint this line is, but I'm gonna dip the other two just to have them on record for line progression purposes. So I'm dipping them now, and I will come back and show you guys what it all looks like once these have processed. Okay, I don't know what you guys can see here. I can actually see the line on the graviditetskollen test. You guys wouldn't be able to see it probably in a million years. I can see it through my viewfinder, but the quality is just going to get trashed, I think. I also see the line on the one-step strip test. I'm not sure if you guys can see that as well, but I will take pictures. Hopefully that will capture it a little better. But I'm gonna end the video now because everyone is super suspicious of me being in here. And I will come back and do line progressions starting tomorrow.